You can unmute.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. There's several of me today. Welcome to everyone for our Thursday morning chat. This is where we talk business. And on our director's call yesterday, an idea came up. And so we're going to share that with you. That's usually where we get our Thursday morning ideas. And we have two special guests today. So as you know, we've been talking a lot about events. We talked about preparing for events. We had on our Monday night call the value of being at events and having guests and watching online. Well, there's lots of different kinds of events. So we have two special guests today. They're going to talk a little bit about some unique ways to have events. It's actually endless, the possibilities of what you can do. We have two special guests that are doing events for their brand partners and for their prospects, and having great success in bringing on new business. So this morning we have, I don't know who wants to go first, Rosemary or Anne.
Good morning.
Either one of you care?
There's a lot of
anything you got to do? Okay, well, we're going to start with Rosemary. And Rosemary is one of our new directors. She was on a call recently, and she's tearing it up. And she's doing something really wonderful for her brand partners.
Hey, Robin is Helen.
So, Rosemary, I want to spotlight you. I got to find you. There you are. And I'm going to put you.
Robin, we need to mute.
Robin, there's too much background noise.
Got you. Can you put your video on, Rosemary?
Well,
can't hear her. Okay, can you...
Robin, unmute yourself. Everybody was yapping and we couldn't hear anything.
Okay.
All right. There you
I
go.
guess I get to start again. I thought I was unmuted. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Thursday morning business chat where we get together to talk business. And we've been talking about events for the last several weeks, building up to the big events. And then the value of being at an event, either virtually or live, and having guests. But now we're going to talk a little bit about some other dimensions of events, of things that you could do really easily at home. And we have two special guests today. We have Rosemary Burke and we have Anne Morrow, and both of them are doing some really fascinating things, having some great success on building their business, building community, educating people, inspiring people. So we are thrilled to have them today. So Rosemary, are you able to come on video today?
Hey, Robin, I'm sorry, there's all kinds of noise in the background.
I've got her pinned.
Save your money.
So Rosemary, are you able to put your video on?
It's not working on my video. It keeps saying that it won't do it.
Can you hear me, Rosemary?
We give them more money.
I don't know if you can hear because
Robin, you have to unmute again. I had to mute all because there's a lot of chatter. Can you hear me, Robin? Unmute. Robin. Here, Tim. Tim, hold that.
Why do I keep going on mute?
Robin, I had to unmute all because for some reason
my mute just keeps popping on without me touching it.
Can you hear me, Robin?
Strange.
Robin,
very strange. Okay.
Robin.
All right. Anne, why don't you start?
Robin, can you hear me, Robin?
And let's see if we can. Let's see.
Robin,
no, you can't hear anything?
We can't hear you. You can't hear us.
We can hear Robin, but we can't hear over everybody else talking.
Okay, so let's see. I can hear you, Anne.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Robin, can you hear me? It's Helen.
Yes.
Okay, I have had to unmute. I have had to mute all because there were so many people chattering. And then that's why you got muted. So
okay, so why don't you go one by one to the mute on each person?
Well, there were tons of people though. It was just really, I couldn't find them. Otherwise I wouldn't have done that.
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear Rosemary?
Yes, we can hear Rosemary now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know you can't see Rosemary, and I cannot make you see me, but I guess you can hear me.
Okay. Well, let's start with Ann and then have you go, Rosemary. So,
Okay.
Yeah, we'll start with Ann. And did you guys hear my intro?
Yes,
Okay.
over a little bit.
Okay, a little bit.
Over all the voices. There was a lot
Yeah.
of voices as you were speaking.
Okay. I did not hear those. Okay. So Ann is going to start. And what we're basically talking about is lots of different ways where you can, build your community, build your business, develop, belief, inspire people, educate people. And there's lots of ways to do that. So I am going to have Ann, who is one of our executive directors, soon to be presidential, I think, right?
Yes, for sure.
Yay. And is just an amazing team builder, leader, educator, an amazing healthcare practitioner that just deeply, deeply cares about people. And she's got she's in a little body, but she's got a huge heart. So I'm going to have Ann share what she's been doing for quite a while. And then we're going to have Rosemary, who's one of our new directors, come on after Ann and share what she's been doing, which is different. And they're all working. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Ann.
Sure. So we were talking on our director's call yesterday about some of the things that we've done consistently over the years. And I was involved with another company before LifeWave, and we started doing the meetings. We were doing meetings like twice a month with consistently every single month. We would just invite guests over. And over time, because I am a nutritionist as well, we decided that so many people were talking about how they thought eating healthy didn't taste good. And so we decided we're going to have a dinner twice a month, and we, the team, are going to make healthy foods to serve so that we could share with people the meal and then share recipes of those foods with those people. Because remember, we always want to give to whoever we're inviting to our group, right? We want to give. I mean, the more that you give, the more likely they are to come, because they're gonna get something from that meeting. So we invited them in that way. Now, you don't have to do a meeting with a meal. It was the way that we decided to do it, because so many people didn't know that they could create foods that would taste wonderful, and that they could create desserts that were low in sugar, and they could give that to their grandkids and their family and their kids. So that's kind of the way it developed. And so it's a great place to sort of come in community, to chat with each other. And then we would always move into an education piece. So the second part of the meeting or the gathering was to educate them. And so, I invite people that have come before to come back. I have customers that I invite to come back, and I tell them, come back anytime. We love to have you. And they love to learn, and they want to know more. And so they keep coming back. And sometimes we have, a bunch of new people in the room. And so I will show a video for them to watch that is typically about usually I bring either Gregory's video, which is that 7-minute video. If you go to liveyoungersuccess.com, you'll find that under home meetings, there's a list of things that you can do at a home meeting. It's a guide, right? You don't have to do it all that way. It is a guide for you. You're going to create your own, way of doing things. And I will pull, there's a video there, 7 minutes that Gregory did, just explaining the technology of X39. So sometimes I will use that. Other times, if I have a lot of people in the room that have already heard it, and there are just a few people that know a little bit about it, maybe watch the videos and did the pop webinars, I will pull one of David's videos. And most recently, I showed the one that is now on Live Younger Success from that David did. Liz added it to our liveyoungersuccess.com with David explaining the X39 technology. And that one everybody loved it the night that I showed it. So following our, the intro, and maybe a story, I might share my story or have somebody else share. We watch the video together, and then we have more people share their own stories. And we really practice with our team to keep our stories pretty concise. We don't want them to go on 5-10 minutes. They're no longer than a minute long. What was the issue when you started this, taking the patches? What patches did you use? What were the benefits? And make the benefits longer, right? We want them to hear all these wonderful benefits. And so then we have a Q&A period with our group. And usually that closes our meeting. And we close our meetings with, let's go have some healthy, low sugar desserts. And everybody loves that part of the meeting as well. So that's kind of what we do. We do it consistently. We invite every, twice a month, we try to have, a meeting, and I've just continued to do it. Sometimes we don't get any guests, and that's okay, because that gives us an opportunity to work with the team with what they need at that evening, and we'll work together to give and answer their questions and give them the feedback that they need as a community or as a group. So
Wow.
Anything else you want me to cover, Robin?
Well, I just hope everyone was taking notes. I want everyone to realize that what Ann is doing is totally duplicatable. Even though she has the background she has, it's something everyone can do, is, starting out with some food and education and showing videos that are already done, people sharing their stories. I love your focus on compliance and keeping them concise, and Q&A. People love Q&A. People love the stories, and having low sugar dessert. I mean, how fabulous. And what my question to you is, Ann, how has this affected your team and your business by doing this?
Oh my God, the team loves these meetings, and they're all bringing food, right? So they all enjoy cooking for them, bringing the food. We never know what that table is going to look like. We never know, because we're all bringing something different. We lay it out, and all these people come in and try it, and they love the conversation. They love sharing their own personal stories and being part of that group. And they're comfortable bringing people there. They're excited to share with them, hey, come on over, come and learn all that you can, come and eat with us, come and enjoy the evening. I mean, it works well, not only for that reason, but also because a lot of people are working till 5, maybe 6, and they can't really cook. Well, you don't have to cook today. You can come over and enjoy a really nice, healthy meal and enjoy this amazing, community of positive people. People are looking for other people who have great energy, who are positive thinkers, who are moving forward in something very new and different. A wonderful, innovative technology really attracts people to hear. They want to hear more. I want to hear more about this. And generally speaking, we try to patch those, with one patch, because they've come. We'll give them an X39 patch to try that evening as well. So those are all the kind of tidbits we do. On special occasions like Christmas, for example, we might have a gift basket, and we'll put patches in there, and they get to leave with that little gift basket. So we do those kind of things as well as a team.
Beautiful.
So it's a lot of fun.
You're building community, you're educating people, you're building belief, you're having fun, you're eating healthy. And where do you have these, Ann?
They're in my home. we just fill the home, and we bring everybody here. Sometimes Rita Losey will do them in her Brunswick home. We've also done them in the backyard, so we've done them usually in a home front. So, and I have to tell you, my husband has been coming to these meetings with us because it's in our home, but he and my brother-in-law, Jim, they bring so much fun and laughter to the evening. It's a ball. The people just love coming.
I love it. I love it. And what do you call this when you're inviting people?
Stem cell. We usually invite people to our stem cell. Seminar. Stem cell seminar is usually what it's called.
Great.
Yeah.
And included is amazing food and community and camaraderie and all the other inspiration that happens. And the stories are amazing.
I do a Facebook invite. And we put all that information in the Facebook invite, and we usually create a flyer with all the information as well.
Great. Thank you. Now, Helen has her hand up. Anyone else have questions before we move to Rosemary? Helen, why don't you ask your question?
Yeah, I was just thinking, Ann, it might be fun since y'all, have the recipes up. If all of us together who do this share some of the recipes, because some people aren't as used to eating healthy food. So if we all kind of share in our Live Younger group some of the fun recipe cards. And then I was sitting next to Priscilla on the plane to Aruba. What a lady. I love her. We had so much fun. Anyway, she mentioned also, Ann, that the questions get written on little cards. And so ahead what the questions are. And so I thought that was a great idea, nice organization.
Wonderful.
Would you tell us about that, what you do, how you
Well, we don't, if we have a larger group, I know that when she has done it, Priscilla has done it in Florida, and she expects a little bit of a larger group, they hand out the cards. But when I have a smaller group, I just take the questions right from that community that night. So it really depends on the numbers of people that are there and how intimate your group is, I think. The larger the group, I think using the cards are beneficial. You can hand them to people as they come in. They can write the question down, and then you're prepared because you have the questions ahead of time, and then you can answer them. So that's really a good way to do it, especially if you want to kind of be prepared for the answer to the questions that are coming up.
And from start to finish, how long does this take, Ann?
Well, we start dinner at 6. And then I give them an hour of just social time, and then 7 to 8. So it's a 2-hour period. And I like to start on time, and I like to end on time, because you want to respect, people's time. This is their time as well. And some people have worked all day, and they have an expectation it's going to be at 6. So we start then, and they have an expectation it's going to end at 8. So I try to honor that as much as possible.
Beautiful. Well, I hope everyone got inspired to, you can do gatherings at your home. People feel very comfortable going to someone's home. And we did a program a while ago with Darlene Clayholtz and Gregory. Darlene has been doing home meetings and has close to 100% sign up every time. So it works. People want to meet the people, and there's nothing like being in a comfortable environment. Well, Ann, thank you again for taking the lead and doing such great work on building community and building business and building team and having a good time. The most fun wins. All right. Thank you. So now I think we can hear you, Rosemary.
Hey, well, good morning to everyone. And I'm sorry I can't get on Zoom. It seems to be giving me issues on my iPad and my phone, but my hat's off to Ann. I'll tell you what, she's putting in a lot of work there with the food and everything. When we have our gatherings, we usually there are 4 of us usually doing the inviting, and we'll put it out like this last week. We did in the morning, we did existing people so they'd have an opportunity to come in and visit, share things about how they're doing. And these people have probably been on their patches anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks. So we kind of have a gathering of informational, and then they can find out possibly about more patches. It creates conversation. So that was one of our meetings in the morning, and we usually do that about once a month. Then in the afternoon, we decided to put 2 in one day. So then in the afternoon, we had new people come in. Now, in the morning, we only had 2 people respond to say that they were 100% coming, and 9 of them showed up. So that's kind of how it is in Sun City. You just, people, I guess, just take it for granted that I always say the door's open, you're welcome. So I guess they feel comfortable to just show up. So hence food would be a little, we don't go quite that far. We have water, but then in the afternoon, we send out to new people informational. We're having a new informational on our stem cell technology. So we have anywhere from probably 9 to 15 people. And when we do that, we have probably, I would say, about a 90%, at least 95 sign up. But everybody wants to do it immediately. So everything gets to be, we have their sign up sheets, and then we're going to gather them up, and then we're going to input them into the computer and get back with them with their information. but we do. Janet is usually the one that will do the presentation. We show a presentation through the computer onto the television so everyone can see in the room. And we show a short video about the X39. That's what we're starting with. So we really focus on the 39 and the ice wave. Everyone gets our golden egg. You know how that is. You know, a golden egg is the key to success as a rule, you know. So in their golden egg, they get an X39 and a Dove dark chocolate, since we tout the fact that dark chocolate is good for us. So they are all excited because they get to eat chocolate at least. So they're all excited. And this last week, we had an amazing turnout, and I think all but 2 people signed up, and they wanted to do a little bit more research. So out of 9 attendees, 7 signed up.
Wow. So I think, I hope you guys are getting the hint that this works. Now, Rosemary, where do you hold these events?
Well, we've been doing, now we have rented a room in Sun City and done that, but we find that we can do it oftener, and we usually do it in my home, and my home is not big at all. So it gets pretty cozy, but people, truthfully, they enjoy it. We put chairs up. We make sure people can see television. They like the camaraderie of others, because they like to sit next to each other and, oh my, what's this? What's that? Now, all of us, there were 4 of us here. So we shared short little clips about what has this done for us, a testimonial. Now, Kamei is in the group, and Kamei has a lot of things that she has benefited from. And I think many have heard her story. So she has a lot to say about medications. I have things that I can tell you that have changed, but I have not, had to be on that many medications. So I don't have that story. But, people can relate to anything that you have to say. If it's migraine headaches, if it's medication, if it's your back, if it's what. But we hold them in my home as a rule, and it goes very well.
Beautiful, beautiful. So what you're doing is a little bit different, but it's working like a champ. And so our invitation to everyone is to do what feels right for you. So in the morning, you have a gathering of business of brand partners. And then that's a time to educate people, for people to share stories. You said most of them are quite new. They probably have a lot of questions. And so it's a safe place for people to get connected and get educated, which is beautiful. And then you have your informational on stem cells. So, and I hope everyone heard the 95% sign up. Did you get that? And from start to finish, how long is your event for the guests?
In the afternoon, people would stay here for a long time, but we keep the presentation and everything. We'd like to keep it to an hour, but I would imagine by the time everyone exits and they have to talk, they're here probably an hour and a half.
Okay, so it's not a long time. And Kamei came on and says it's not brand partners, it's customers in the morning. And
it is customers. It is customers.
I stand corrected. So this is a way for you to really nurture those customers, because what we've learned is customer retention comes from education and communication. So if you're taking the time, like Rosemary is, to continue to educate your customers, be there for them, develop those relationships, they're going to stay on, aren't they?
Yes, they really like to, they get overwhelmed if you try to do more than, say, 39 in ice wave. Now, the question does come up when they're here brand new, but when we have the existing, once they start in, and then we had the gathering, like I said, in the morning of people on the patches, then they can better understand about the other patches. They're a little bit more open to say, okay, now I think I can do this. And they just love to hear what's happened to somebody else.
Beautiful. So the other thing I want everyone to hear is the simplicity. You know, a lot of us use IceWave just to demonstrate the technology because most of us know in 94% of people in clinical studies, people get instant or rapid pain relief. So that makes it very exciting, but keeping it simple with that X39 focus because it's so comprehensive. So does anyone have any questions for Rosemary? You want to unmute your line, raise your hand? I'm not seeing any at the moment, but anyone have any questions? Do you use name tags?
Yes, we do. We do
Okay.
use name tags. Yeah, we do. We have, you know, paper ones for people to sign their name on when they come in, so we can try to relate to each other. And we try our best on that, and we try to keep it simple. Really, because it's different times during the day that we're doing this. It works out best in our location in Sun City because we're in a retirement area. Daytime hours work well here. You know, evening hours are not the best here in our community. So morning and mid-afternoon work out wonderfully here. So we just keep it simple, offer water, have our little golden egg with your patch and your chocolate, and lots of talk.
I love your golden egg. So we have two questions, Nancy and then Heidi. So why don't you guys, and then we'll be down at the bottom of the hour. So let's keep it brief. Nancy, you want to unmute?
Yes, thank you so much. Oh, that was so informative and very helpful. I live way out in the country, and I was wondering if anybody had any suggestions on having events. I mean, like I'm like 8 miles away from the nearest town. So I'm like, anyway, it's I'm gonna try this.
Well, you know what? I think you should just, you know, put the word out, gather a group and make it simple. Just say, I have this informational I'd love to share with you. Please come to my home. And at this time, whatever time of the day works best for you and others that you think that you're going to invite. And, you know, unless you step out and try it, you don't know how it's going to work. And then when the word gets out, I think word of mouth travels.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And we were just visiting a very special woman who's on the line today, Linda Harwood, and she lives way out, but people show up. So please don't let that get in the way. Right, Linda? Okay. Heidi, you have a question. You have a question.
I do, and I've got workout hair, sweaty hair, so I'm just going to ask a quick question. How much in advance do you actually start inviting? Are you like 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, 2 days? Like I want a general idea for both presenters today. Anne Moreau, that was top notch. Thank you so much, Rosemary. I appreciate everything that you've shared.
Oh, well, for us, we usually do it about the week before, and then we have to send out a reminder. And I'll tell you honestly, in our group, not always email, we can text. Picking up the phone and calling in our community tends to work pretty well. You know, a lot of people just don't pay attention to their email. Maybe a text like mine doesn't always notify me that I have a text, so I could be guilty of the same. So just calling someone and saying, now, if you're able to come, we're here. So whatever, but not more than a week in advance for sure, or maybe even 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
Yeah, same here, Rosemary. Thank you. The same identical thing. We do usually it's a week ahead, and we will send reminders a few days before and reconnect with them. And sometimes people get back to us and say, you know, I thought I was going to be able to make it, but I can't. You know, can you invite me to the next one? So we always keep them on the list, and we just keep inviting them, right? So that they can continue to be invited. And the other thing I wanted to say that I and Rosemary kind of triggered that memory is that the team is all there, and they all have different stories, right, to share. So when we are having our meal together, we're talking to them and we're getting information, and they're sharing something maybe they want to change or something they want to make better. And that allows us to sort of pick the story that night that is going to be something they identify with. And that helps us give them that information. And it can really get questions going, because once they hear stories, I mean, one of the most powerful stories that has been shared at our dinners has been a shoulder injury story from Lisa Farron, who did not want surgery. The surgeon told her that there was no way that was going to heal on its own. And she chose to use the patches, and that shoulder got better in 6 to 8 months. And she has full function, and she shows everyone, she moves her arm all around. We've had 2 guests come in the past year with the same issues, and they now no longer have the issues and never had surgery as well. One lady canceled her surgery. So, I mean, it can be powerful to have people in the room with the identical problem that they're having, and they are identifying with each other. So I just wanted to throw that in.
Beautiful, beautiful. And we are at the bottom of the hour, but I wanted to show you, thank you, you guys, that was fabulous. And our hope is that you got inspired to create your own version, whatever that is that fits for you. So I just want everyone to know, in Live Younger Success, under the library, under resources and documents, in number 6, it has resources for home meetings and event docs. So just know that there's a lot of things here. There's a home meeting guide. If you want more structure than what you heard today, or you want to do a little differently, there's a home meeting guide that was created by Darlene that has been very effective, start to finish, an hour. And then there's the videos that are right here. There's executive summaries, there's name tags, there's things already here. There's also an enrollment application. There's the article. So, you know, sometimes we use these lead capture pages for trade shows, but you can use them for guests at your home meetings too, where you gather information from people. So just know there's a lot of resources available for you. Again, this is in the library under resources and documents and number 6. Okay. And we had, I think there was another hand up. Helen, you want to finish it up, Helen? We can't hear you. You're muffled.
Oh, I was just going to answer a question from chat, which Julianne asked, which is, you know, do you ever charge people for space? But in our area, we have had all of the brand partners chip in $10. So, you know, that helps. But we've never charged participants. So
Okay.
there's an idea for you.
Guests are always free. Yeah. Yep. And there you go. Well, thank you everyone for being here today. This was really, really inspiring, educational. And I think we can do, how many of you, you know, let's unmute and have, how many of you say you want to start doing some home meetings? And say thank you.
Well,
Yeah. Home meetings.
they really work.
Yep, they really, really work. If you want a closing ratio of, you know, 90 to 95%, you might want to do them. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to do it at our local park.
All right. A local park. How wonderful. How wonderful. Have some
I like
signage
that
and
a
maybe
lot.
attract some other people. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Special thank you for Rosemary and Ann for sharing your wisdom and your experience with everyone. And go forth, and we'd love to hear you share when you have your home events, what kind of success you're having. Okay.
Oh,
Thanks,
yes,
everybody.
thank you. Everyone have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you.
Have a great day.
everyone.
Bye. Have a lovely day.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you guys so much.